Hello, everyone, and welcome to Off the Record with
Judah,
Kirk,
and Gabe.
Today we're talking about Starfleet Academy Episode 3, the one that wasn't as good.
Well, that's debatable. I think it was better than 2.
Yeah.
But
not as good as 1.
In my opinion. Gabe, this is your first time talking about Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
We know you have thoughts, which were outlined in one of our Star Trek videos. I forgot which one.
I believe
Lower
it was
Decks.
at the end of Lower Decks.
Yeah, end of Lower Decks. What did you think, starting off? Overall thoughts, Episode 3.
Episode 3. It was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it definitely requires the perspective of knowing what type of show you're watching.
Oh,
it's not
sure.
Star Trek like you think it normally is. If you're trying to watch it as a Star Trek show, it sucks.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, and even as long as you're watching it as a Star Trek show, like it's set in the same universe and it should have some of the same procedures, but you need to know that the purpose of the show is not to boldly go or anything like that.
It's not exploring space. It's where a bunch of
it's exploring relationships with teens.
It's space Degrassi, if you know what Degrassi is.
Yeah, basically.
So, Gabe, I know that you said that episode 1 was worse for you and episode 2 was slightly better, especially the first 23 minutes of episode 1. We slightly outlined that at the end of Lower Decks video.
Yes.
So where does this fall kind of relative to that? Because for me, I say it goes episode 1, then 3, then 2, because I think that 3 is a little closer to what episode 1 was than what episode 2 was. So what are you thinking?
So I go episode 2 is my favorite, followed by 3, followed by 1.
Okay.
Basically for the exact same reason Kirk outlined, but just the opposite, because apparently we just disagree.
And was that mostly because, like, where I'm getting that from is a lot of the, like, combat training that was in the episode?
Yeah, the combat training was a little enjoyable, but it was also really kind of cheesy in parts, which, fair enough. But it was still, like, you had a lot of that solid teen drama that is supposed to be there in a show like this, where it is, you got, for example, one character is being the captain, but he's doing terribly at it, and the other character is trying to fight for it. Like the interpersonal type stuff that you don't get so much on your traditional Star Trek, exploration shows as much, but is needed for this show to fill its niche.
Yeah. Judah?
I mean, it happened. It was a third episode of overall not very good TV show. I think the same things that I said about the first 2 episodes kind of stand true. I think Caleb is the most compelling student. I don't know. I really didn't enjoy I don't enjoy any of the faculty. Didn't enjoy them in this episode either. I thought it was really weird that headmistress, chancellor, what are we calling her? Chancellor. Yeah. Her manipulating them into doing the prank, kind of getting the plot of the episode a little bit strange.
Well, it wasn't manipulation. It was hinting towards what a good prank would be, no?
She basically manipulated them into doing exactly what she wanted them to for the prank, which is revealed at the end when she's like, I only half expected y'all to do what I wanted you to do. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
And that's why I feel like it's less manipulative and more leading.
But you don't.
So basically, for some context,
she doesn't know that she's good at manipulation.
Maybe, but for a little bit of context, obviously, Ake is like 411, 412, something like that.
She's old.
22. Okay.
Because I know the exact age, because I'm paying attention.
Okay. So she's 422 years old, and that's obviously before the burn and all that. And so she was a student at Starfleet Academy long time ago. And they actually referenced a prank that was pulled at some point.
That's true.
And apparently, we learned by the end of the episode that she was the one who pulled that prank. And so where you might get the vibe this whole episode that she's like, no, we're not going to do this whole prank war thing with the War College. We're going to be better than them in, patience and whatnot. But actually, she was trying to set up the prank the whole time. But she did want them to come to it themselves. Like, she says that by the end, like, I didn't want to just tell you what to do because then that'd be as bad as what the War College was. Because would it also be Chancellor of the War College was kind of leading his students into this prank war. Yeah. And so she was like, I don't want to just like tell you guys what to do like he is, because that's boring. That's not fun at all. That's basically cheating. And so it was, again, I feel less manipulative and more like pranks are fun, but you got to do them right. You know? And also,
Like with
pranks in high school is literally a tradition. So
yeah. Also, I'm confused because I'm pretty sure they said they were like 19 in the first episode. So
yes.
I feel like it should be less high school and more college, but it's really
yes.
It's very
well,
so
in the last 1,000 years, mental levels have regressed by a little bit. Yeah. I can guarantee that. But also, some of them are like the hologram lady is supposed to be what's her name? Sam. Yeah. Sam is supposed to be 17. She's programmed to feel like she's 17.
Yeah, she's 3 months old though.
So, and I think I don't know how old. What's his name?
What's he?
Main guy.
Oh, Caleb. He's 19.
Caleb. Yeah, he's 19.
Yeah.
I don't know how old like Genesis or Jar.
The Klingon doctor.
The Klingon. Jaden. Yeah. I don't know how old any of them are supposed to be. So but I feel like it's kind of that middling, like between college and high school age, and I mean.
I think that requires the context of knowing this is post-Burn, where Burn kind of just
made everything not work the same way anymore. Like it just destroyed the Federation to the point where the maybe more structured systems of like elementary school, middle school, high school, college isn't really a thing anymore. And so now they're just reintroducing Starfleet Academy as a thing. Yeah. So
and
you're
how much
going to get some younger kids, you're going to get some older kids because they want to get as many people into Starfleet now as they can now that they're reopening it.
And also with the Burn and everything that happened like post that, it kind of was a very dark time for everybody in the galaxy. And so what it could be as well is like these kids, and it's been mentioned a couple of times, they already know a lot of hardship and hurt, right? And so this is their chance to kind of not have to deal with that anymore and just like be some late teens, maybe some of them early 20s kids essentially. And so they're just kind of like letting out all that pent up whimsy, I suppose, as slight justification for it. I don't feel like it's that realistic anyway, but just to trying to give reasoning for it. So. Well, it's a college sci-fi show, which is harder to do. But it definitely seems like it's currently not going the way we want it to go as a show.
It's consistently the things that I didn't like about it are expanding, and the things I did like about it are staying the same. Yeah, if that makes sense. So
I thought that we were supposed to get more, like even by episode 3, because the ship. Yeah. Oh, I just hit my microphone. Sorry. The ship is like descended down onto campus and became a building on campus, but it can also fly back up and like go out and do things. And part of the premise of the show was that it's an academy that can also go out and do things, so and that Chancellor Ake is also Captain Ake. So why haven't they done that yet? Because that, especially post-Burn stuff, like there's stuff to be explored. Like they didn't even know that this planet that his mom was on for a time even existed and was even colonized because of the 100 years or whatever in between the Burn and now. Yeah. And so they don't quite. There's more stuff for them to go out and like actually explore.
If we're honest, this was basically just a filler episode. No actual plot happened.
Like with his mom.
Overarching plot. No progress with his mom. You had like a little bit of progress with the Betazoid.
Well, actually, I think they resolved the thing they set up at the end of episode 2, which is like, she's not talking to him. And then at the end, she's talking to him. So we solved our problem.
Why do I get the vibe that they're going to like go back and forth every single episode between won't they and will they?
Well, because that's how every college teen drama works. Is you always have the one couple where you have to, for like 5 seasons straight, be like, oh my gosh, just like.
Make out already.
Well, but they're already making out, so it's
a little different than that. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that inevitability. So it wasn't as good. The direction of the season, there are things that they can do to maybe make it better in some of our eyes, with some exploration stuff.
I already liked our concept of Jaden, but I liked him. He was him and Caleb were funny in this episode. They're the only times I laughed at anything. Yeah, and their characters again are still the most interesting.
Yeah. And actually, what I found interesting with Jaden too was him purposely staying out of all the like combat things because like he's the Klingon that doesn't want to fight. So he's like, I'm going to do all these botany classes and things like that.
Right.
I like plants. I like birds. Right? But then it actually paid off at the end because the whole resolution was the conflict that Chancellor Ake was trying to like get all these students to do was with these plant things that are like a protected species. Which, as soon as she said protected species, I knew where this episode was going, and I knew that she was pulling the strings for it.
Yeah.
But this protected species, so the War College couldn't like tear them up. Yeah. And so Jaden with Mr. Botany, he's not going to go fight them with actually fighting them, but he's more than willing to still quote unquote fight them, but with plants.
Yeah.
And win. I thought that was interesting.
It was.
I'm still not 100% on board with just like this super neutered Klingon, but also
I wouldn't call him a neutered Klingon. I think
he's just a pacifist.
Yeah, his pacifism, I think, is really interesting and compelling because I think there's some great places they can go with that concept. Will they go there?
Probably not.
I think they need to make it clear that he isn't just being pacifist because he doesn't really know how to fight, but like show that he was actually raised a little bit Klingon, and so he's got those instincts and that fight in him, and so that the pacifism is more of a choice because that
give an actual story.
That makes it compelling. Like it's the difference between being peaceful and being harmless. Yeah. Peaceful means I don't want to harm you, but I can. I'm just not going to. Right? Harmless means I physically cannot harm you.
Yeah. And as we discussed as well in the episode 1 and 2 video, there would have been, throughout all of history, very medically minded Klingons. Because that's how war works. You gotta send your guys out. When they come back injured, you gotta heal them up. Yeah. Now, that may look a little different because Klingons have...
They just kill.
Yeah. First of all, they like to die in battle. Second of all, if they have some sort of injury, they have like 2 organs for every organ we have, so they can take more damage than us. So they don't necessarily need the medical services in the same ways. Yeah, but still, a Klingon goes out, has a injury that's not life-threatening. Yeah, they have these rituals of, kill me, give me an honorable death. But, that's not exactly always going to happen, and it's always not always practical and things like that. So there would be doctors, and this guy is just another one of them. Now, yes, the first one we see on screen, but they could do something with that.
Pacifism is a character. Like, I don't think it's...
pacifism is the...
I wouldn't play up that he's a doctor, like, as that being a big advancement for Klingons. I would play, like, his philosophy being different is, like, the thing I would play on.
Maybe.
Because that's, like, it's like...
But I think the point is, what they should have tried to go with here is not to play on the pacifism thing, but to play on the doctor thing. And
I disagree.
Because he's trying to be a Federation doctor, there's the whole do no harm thing. Yeah. And so it's him wrestling with those things. Like, yes, I am a Klingon. Versus now he's basically saying, no, I'm not a Klingon.
Too generic. I feel like we could get that in any Star Trek show.
Yeah, this is...
Well, yeah.
This is him literally saying, I don't want to be what everything says I should be.
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't want to be what he is. And that's a problem.
No, that's not the case. Because Klingons aren't defined by... I know all we ever see of them is them fighting. Yeah. But to be Klingon is not to fight.
I mean, it's like pulling from some other Star Trek stuff. It's like the crossover between Lower Decks and Stranger Worlds. Like, all Orions are pirates, right? Yeah. Like, that's not a true statement, right? And not all Klingons. Like, again, I would love to see him snap at some point and just beat shit out of someone, which I think should happen. Right. Just to be like, emphasize his philosophy, be like, oh, I crossed that line.
Well, that was kind of my point in bringing up the doctor thing. Yeah. But the all Orions are pirates thing, I don't think translates to this, because it's correct though. Like, not all Orions are pirates. Like, there have always been a variety of Orions. They're basically just, space pirate humans is what their species basically is. Versus the Klingons, like, they're a warrior race. The Vulcans, they're a logical race. The Romulans, they're a manipulative race.
The Vulcans being a logical race thing. Spock isn't logical in Stranger Worlds.
And that's a problem. And also, he's half human.
The lady in Enterprise, T'Pol, is not, she's emotional more than any Vulcans we've seen on screen outside of Spock. And right, like, we've already seen them messing around with these things.
And to counter-argue against your Vulcan thing, we know the Vulcans and Romulans are technically originally from the same species. Yes. And take a very opposite approach to it, which is proof that it is not the logic that dictates the species.
Yeah.
But hold on, it was like thousands and thousands, like 10,000 years ago or something like that, and they were already so different that half of them left the planet entirely.
Right, but that doesn't.
You don't
mean
see half the Klingons leaving the planet entirely.
No, but this
that
is so
doesn't
far
mean
in the
that
future, dude.
that a Klingon has to act like a Klingon just because he's a Klingon. That's not.
I mean, humans act like humans, right?
But
We
that's-
only have the perspective right now of humanity in the real world, of course.
But that's many different
But
paths.
if there
Yeah,
if there were other aliens out there and we were to meet them, we would very quickly realize like, oh, that is what these aliens are.
Right.
And we would maybe start to see, oh, this is what it is. Like, this is what humanity is. This is what we are all like.
Okay,
like
so
despite our differences.
Okay, your qualm with this, going back to Strange New Worlds,
Sure.
we get an episode of The Butcher of Jagal. Fantastic episode, right?
Yeah.
Why is that
Great
Klingon
episode.
acting peaceable, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, we get the conflict, like he did terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Off orders. Okay, so he's going against his people. That's happening way back in the timeline that he's like trying to be different. And
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a bunch of Klingons that are trying to be different.
Right, even the
You know?
Butcher of Jagal is trying to be peaceful.
Well, I believe that was more a manipulative thing as well
No,
as
it was
power.
literally
That
not.
was
It
less
guilt.
manipulative than the Chancellor in this episode, dude.
It was literally guilt.
Yeah.
That's what it's made clear. Is he felt guilty for what he did, and so he said,
Well,
"I'm going to change."
He felt guilt for the order he gave, and he felt shame
Yes.
for taking the credit of being the butcher, right? Like,
Right.
that's what motivates his character throughout
Yeah.
that entire episode.
I really don't think that guilt about the order was ever a part of the episode.
That's
I think
literally,
there
it's literally
was
clearly
shame
stated several
about.
times. Here,
Yeah.
we'll let the viewers settle this.
Yeah.
Y'all comment
Yes.
what you think
Yeah.
on this, because obviously we're not going to get anywhere.
We are. We're just going to keep going back and forth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's-
But also, that is a good reminder, Gabe. Thank you. To like,
Yes.
comment, subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram, Off the Record JK. And what else? Leave comments, like
Hit the
Gabe said.
notification bell.
The bell button. 'cause
The bell.
otherwise you don't know.
Leave your thoughts
Yeah,
on
'cause-
Starfleet Academy down below.
Do
Yes.
tell us what you think about this. I am very much of the opinion that, Klingons act like Klingons. There's variety
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
But Klingons act like Klingons, and he's not acting like a Klingon. Because actually, counterpoint, I'll say real quickly, Worf wasn't even raised by Klingons.
Uh-huh.
He was raised by humans. He was adopted by humans.
Yes.
And yet he's Klingon. He is
Yes.
very much Klingon.
Yes.
He likes
But
the culture of his people.
He likes the culture of his
culture.
people, buddy. Okay. We're not getting back into
I can
this.
tell that what you're trying to say here is that I'm contradicting myself, but
Yeah.
I do not see the contradiction.
Okay.
Well,
You're not.
and
I'll
this
miss
is
it, buddy.
why we're not going to.
Yeah.
So,
Well, do tell us what you guys
obviously,
think in the comments, because we're not going to be able to settle this ourselves.
And I still want a Klingon anime. If anyone's like
Yes.
going back to
I
be like,
would.
Oh,
love that.
but hey, there'll be nice little peaceful Doctor Klingons in your
there
anime.
will be,
And that'll be the
I'm
only
down
thing.
for that.
That'll be the only thing in a modern Klingon anime would just be that. Just
There'd be
Jade
actually
N
a gay lover
repeated over and
anime.
over. Yeah, basically.
No.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. Well, that's what Starfleet Academy is turning into. Thank you, Reno and Jem'Hadar lady that shouldn't exist. Wonderful.
Taking my favorite character.
I do like Jet Reno as a character.
Amazing character. So hilarious.
Well, I mean, as you pointed out,
She just
it was
takes
the best
nothing.
way they could have approached
That
that.
is.
It
Like,
really
it would have
was.
been worse if it was like, oh, we pan to lesbian sex scene, or we pan to them kissing, right?
Yeah.
Like they played it in the best way they could.
Right.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
They
was
played
very-
it off funny and
yeah.
kind of sweet, and it was like.
And it was a
okay.
point. It was Jet Reno was trying to make a point
Right.
to Caleb as well,
Yeah.
and
Not
it made the
fish
point.
boy.
Was it the
Was
fish
it
boy?
It was the.
Oh, sorry.
fish
Yeah,
boy.
you're right.
Yeah,
It was
it
the
was
fish
the
boy.
fish boy.
It was the fish boy because
his
his
name
parents
Rennie?
weren't talking
I
to
don't.
him.
He's not.
I don't remember.
Like
Yeah.
a rat.
He was
I think he's the rat now.
he was big sad because his parents weren't talking to him, and so Reno was like, I. What do you mean? Your dad listens to these videos.
I know he's gonna comment down below now.
Yeah. So anyway, it was handled fairly well for
It was.
in a modern Star Trek series you will have those
Well,
kinds of
even in the
characters,
old Star Trek series, if we're
though
honest.
much less so. But yeah, Deep Space Nine.
And
I mean,
TNG.
it's called
and
Deep Space
Sci-fi.
Nine, so like,
The original
Thank you,
series.
thank
you know they're doing some stuff out in deep space.
So anyway, they did handle it,
Yeah.
in a way that I am not going to immediately gouge my eyes out over.
Oh yeah,
but-
the action in this episode was not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I found actually funny, going off the action, was one of the pranks the War College played on Starfleet Academy was taking like a highlight reel of them in that like fight training thing, and it was just like all the worst, most embarrassing moments of like them failing and them screaming and them being terrified and not professional at all.
It was literally just the Betazoid boy and Sam.
Yeah, it basically was. It basically was those two.
So
but what I find really funny about that is the maybe slight recognition of how some people will react to Starfleet Academy, which is, you know, kind of what we've gone into a little bit about how some people are just gonna like hate it because it's not Star Trek,
right?
And you know, all that stuff, which I don't agree. Like, take it for what it is, and review it based on that, which is what we tried to do here. But
more or less.
Try.
Some of us.
There are going to be people who would have literally tried to make the exact same highlight reel and say, see, this isn't Starfleet, they're not very professional and all that. And like, I agree, technically.
But they're trying to slowly learn how to become
but first of all, they're like first year students, and it's been 100 years since there's been an academy.
You don't expect freshmen at the Naval Academy to be as adept as like your top secret Navy SEAL, right?
You would expect them to be more professional than this. But also, this is like a college, high school drama teenage show.
But also, the person they have as a chancellor is like the least professional person ever.
Yeah,
she puts her dogs on every table known to man.
That's the main problem with this series. She sets a bad example for her students, and so that's where this is all coming from.
She literally, like, she basically flirts with the War College chancellor just to annoy him. It's actually so funny.
She was kind of doing that with Braca in episode 1 too.
That's true.
Yeah, because she was like, she doesn't know how to sit in a chair. By the way,
I'd flirt with Paul Giamatti. Well,
yeah. Put some shoes on, sit up straight in a chair, act professional, and your students would start to follow suit.
She's 422 years old. She doesn't care anymore. She just does whatever the hell she wants, and it's amazing.
Yeah, well, but you don't see the Doctor doing that.
Well, the Doctor is...
We're going into a whole nother...
The Doctor.
We don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
Okay,
so...
I feel like we ran out of things to talk about 10 minutes ago.
Talk about my favorite character.
Okay, fine.
You remember that one? He's unnamed, but he's that one guy that's in the little posse of with the Romulan chick.
Oh, the dude that's just like literally just enjoying life. Dude. Like he's enjoying Jaden's jokes, and he's just like enjoying when the planets spread out.
Yeah,
and he's just kind of like chilling.
Low-key
best character.
That is the best character.
I would pay like $5 if he becomes a like main side character.
I'm getting those $5 if that happens.
I'm not paying them to Kirk.
Dang it.
I will pay. Yeah, I will pay if he's more regularly on the show.
Yeah, I will not.
All right, ratings of the episode.
Yes,
well, Kirk. I already said, it's 1, 3, then 2. So I guess that puts us at 6.5, something like that.
Yeah.
I think I gave 5 and. What did I give?
No, you gave 5 and 6.5.
Okay, so 6.
So 5.75, because it's directly in the middle, according to you.
Sure.
Yeah, 5.75. Gabe.
I'll give it an easy 6, though.
Out of 10. He rounds up.
Oh, I don't know. What did I... Do you remember what I scored the last two? Did I score the last
5
two?
You gave the opposite ratings that we did.
I did 5 and 6. So
but
6
5 was episode 1. And
so then, it'd be a...
5.5?
Probably I'd do a 6.25.
Whoa.
Oh, so you thought this was better.
Oh, no, wait.
5 was episode 1, 6 was episode 2. If you think it's in between, then 5.5.
Better than episode 2?
No, I'm brain dead. Okay, 5.75.
Okay, so a little closer to episode 2 than episode 1.
2 than 1.
Okay.
I mean...
I'm just really tired.
I don't know. I personally, it's not worse. I mean, I don't know. In retrospect, the more I think about episode 2, the better it becomes. And like...
Yeah. And episode 1.
And episode 1. Because, I guess recency bias, and actually the opposite of recency bias, which is like, it was better before. So I think I said probably it was in the middle earlier. I think it might be slightly lower, and I think I gave a 6 to episode 2. So I'm thinking 5.75.
Okay.
So I think we're all in the same kind of range.
Yeah, it's a very middling show. Not only is it a middling Star Trek show, it's a middling show in general.
Yeah.
But all shows like this will be. I feel like
two good actors.
Like there may be rare exceptions where a show like this is.
Well, that's because their budget can only afford 2 good actors.
It's true.
Yeah,
well,
they actually did say that they had like no
doctor.
money for this show. So, given that, it is kind of impressive some of the stuff they've done.
Dude, like the teleporting stuff.
The teleporting stuff is
and
great.
I love Caleb being the only person that's naked and literally no one else.
Yeah.
I was crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that might have. It was before the cold open, or it was the cold open, right?
Yeah.
It was before the titles. Anyway, before we hang up, I guess this video.
We hang up this call.
It's a call. We're calling you guys.
A romantic date.
First of all, I wanted to thank everybody. We have had 350 distinct viewers this past month, which is about 3 times higher than the last update you two gave in your video yesterday for us, 2 days ago for you guys. So 350,
insane.
thank you so much for watching, and especially some of these Star Trek videos are getting a lot of views.
So
though you're watching the DC videos for longer, more people are watching
so
these
you're
Star
definitely
Trek
not
shows.
hearing this.
Yeah, almost nobody is here at 25 minutes and 58 seconds, so it'll probably be slightly less than that now. But only 33 subscribers with 350 distinct viewers. So 10% of you are awesome. The other 90% of you can very easily be awesome.
Yes, scroll down, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button.
Low bar.
Yeah, our bar for how much we love you is do you subscribe?
How much Kirk loves you.
I love you.
All right. With all of this being said, leave your thoughts on Starfleet Academy episode 3 in the comments down below. We'll see y'all in the next video. Good morning, good evening, good night. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.